Hello everybody, Phythodas here, welcome to yet another video for Titan Quest 2. It looks like the developers with Titan Quest 2, they are giving us lots of info after Gamescom happened. And here we have something like a question and official answers for some of the questions people have had after Gamescom, after we have seen this gameplay here for example. So, although this is the trailer, if you go to check out, we will check it out together now in this video, but if you go to check it out by yourself, you come here to the Steam web site of Titan Quest 2, you click on the community hub, you click discussions, then you click the pinned Gamescom information follow-up. Here we are! Let's see what the developers themselves say officially, how they answer to some of the questions that people have had. A lot of you here had a lot of questions after Gamescom footage got shown. We have attempted to answer most of them here. And if you go to watch the latest gameplay developer video, you click on this one. Info. When you see info, you could say that it is a question. It works like a question and follow-up is an answer. So, info. Early access will be starting in winter this year. Answer. Early access will happen, that is correct. The final date will be confirmed soon. We don't know when, but it will be confirmed soon. Now, the question is that in winter this year. This year means maybe 2024, but winter is also, this winter is also the beginning of 2025. But this is the question. Don't confuse it, this is not the answer that in 2024 it is coming necessarily. Maybe it will come next year, maybe it will come this year, we don't know. This is why the answer says that the final date will be confirmed soon. Hopefully soon we will know. Info. There will be full English and German language support, no information on other languages yet. Answer. In general, we will support many languages, but for early access start, we might even start with only English. Okay, early access is early access. It is not the final product. Info. The beach is the official starting area after the Titan Quest 2 intro cinematic. Answer. No. No. The game has an entire introductory chapter act before that area with a playtime of 30 to 40 minutes. I cannot wait for the early access to come out. Info. The story will be independent from Titan Quest 1, but it is set in the same universe. Yeah, okay, mythology, ancient mythology universe. Answer. The story is set in Greek mythology, but it is a whole new plot line using established characters and concepts of Greek mythology. So, the story is not a sequel of the previous story, it is a different story, a new story, but on the same setting, of course. Info. The base attack icon changes depending on equipped weapon type. Follow up, yes, that is correct. Okay. It looks like each different weapon type will have a different basic attack, which also automatically changes the icon, which makes sense. Info. The game speed will be slower than that of the average action RPG type game to complement challenging fights which require you to think before you act. Follow up. The time to kill is slower than the genre standard, but there is plenty of player input and many enemy actions to react to. We have already seen some gameplay, and the combat, to me personally at least, it is my personal opinion, I think that the combat of Titan Quest 2 looks better than the combat of Titan Quest 1. Of course I will have to give it a try actually to play, to see that it truly is better, but it looks better to me. One of the things I have never liked in games like Path of Exile for example, is that you, at least at high levels, not low levels, or medium to high levels, your character can one-shot full screens of enemies. One shot with one click. Chuck! You click, chuck, and they die altogether. This doesn't feel like an RPG game to me, it feels like an arcade game. So, I think that the combat system of Titan Quest 2 will be very good. Info. The game will have adjustable difficulty settings. Follow up. We have an in-game ritual system that will allow you to manipulate the level of enemies and thus the loot they drop. This will give you a greater challenge and also more reward via higher level item drops. You can also revisit prior areas and get valuable loot exclusive to those areas, so long as you opt in to increase the difficulty or to raise the minimum level to your own. Okay. This sounds interesting, but we will have to see how it works in game. Info. It is planned to give at least 6 times the amount of skills to masteries on early access compared to the demo version. 6 times, at least. Follow up, that is correct. A lot more active and passive skills as well as modifiers are coming to the EA early access. Yeah, of course, I mean the demo is just a demo for demo purposes, it is not an early access. Info. Every skill has modifiers of which you can pick up to 5 per skill. Answer, that is correct. The modifiers also have a capacity cost. We have seen these things on the videos. You can capacity by investing skill points. Yes, we have seen these things. Info. The horse will be with us through the whole story and continue talking to us. Answer. That is correct as far as the early access goes. We aren't looking to give story spoilers beyond that point. Okay. At least for the early access, we will have a talking horse. Maybe I will make another video and explain why having a talking horse is totally contradictory based on Greek language. Info. Respecting skill points is possible, but masteries are set in stone once you pick them. Answer, yes, that is correct. So, this is how Titan Quest 1 system works. In Titan Quest 1 you can respect skill points, but you can never replace your masteries. That is very good in my opinion. This is better this way. And it is a very good thing that it is coming back this way. Info. The world is completely handcrafted. Answer. That is correct for the main campaign. However, we might introduce endgame content that is using different concepts. I wouldn't say no to that. Having some dungeons that will have layouts totally randomized. Who knows? Why not? Info. Story events throughout the world have been added to the game. Story events. The more you explore, the more interactions you can find. Follow up, yes, that is correct. That is very good, of course. I don't understand exactly what they mean by story events, but what if they put some side quest lines, not quests only, but quest lines. Side quest lines is some areas that for you to reach those areas, you have to actually go there and explore. And you don't just go to follow through the main campaign to finish the main campaign. So, if there are big areas in the game to explore, side areas that you don't need to go as you are going for the main campaign, and we have story events in those areas, that will be super awesome because you will explore and you will not have all the time empty areas to explore. You will have events to go through and play and discover. Info. The developers are brainstorming on how to further improve the inventory for players, hinting at a reduced chance of overloading your inventory in the future. Answer. That is correct. We will be introducing a loot filter and a stat system during the early access. Loot filter in the early access is the best idea because if people that will try the early access see some not very good things about the loot filter, they can actually give feedback to the developers so that the developers can take the feedback and try to make an even better loot filter in the end. Info. Target farming enemies will be possible again. Answer. Crafting will be added during the early access and target farming will be mostly relevant when it comes to collecting materials. Okay. So, maybe the game will not be using a similar type of a loot table system as the previous game, and this is why maybe target farming will be mostly relevant when it comes to materials instead of items, weapons, armor, whatever. We will see, maybe this system will be better than the first game. After all, the loot table system of Titan Quest 1 is good, but it is not perfect, it has its own problems. Info. A 12 hours campaign is planned for early access. Follow up. The early access content takes between 10 to 15 hours in one playthrough. So, imagine that some similar action RPG games have For example, Torchlight 1, if you play Torchlight 1 from level 1 a character and you reach the final boss of the campaign and you finish the game, it depends how good you are with action RPGs. It can take you about 6 hours, 7 hours, a full game. So, if the early access, the first version of the early access provides up to 15 hours of gameplay, then I guess that the game in the end will be very huge. Info. There is no info on how big the fully released game will be. It will depend on how the early access goes. The update will bring a lot of new content. Answer. The content we are targeting for full release is at least around 50 hours. $50 hours what? 50 hours the main campaign or 50 hours everything including side quests? But either way, I mean, even if including side quests you get 50 hours and then you have an endgame system, which endgame systems usually they don't have a time limit because you can replay, they are replayable. Then we are talking about a very huge game, and but to me personally that is enough. Because remember, this type of games is a type of games where you are supposed to be replaying the games with multiple different builds, characters, whatever. This is why we have so many different classes, items and whatnot, possibilities. So, 50 hours including main quest and the side quest, perfect. Just perfect. Info. Multiplayer is planned, not on early access though, only for the full release. Follow up. The game will feature multiplayer but not on initial early access release. This is good. Because I think that this game is not supposed to be heavily based in multiplayer. For example, if we go back to Diablo 3, that game from the ground up was made to be multiplayer based mostly. You can play single player totally, of course, but it was designed in such a way that multiplayer would be super easy to do and it would be your main focus maybe. One of the issues with that game was that if it was going to be from the ground up designed as a multiplayer game, Blizzard should have to use an online-only system because that game is based... You cannot play offline, Diablo 3 for example, and Diablo 4, which is also multiplayer-based focused, mostly. So yeah, but anyway, this game is not going to be like that. It is also going to be offline playable. It is not going... It will be like Titan Quest 1. You will be able to play offline and online multiplayer, but how the online multiplayer will work, we don't know yet. But this is good, and I think that it is good that they will not have multiplayer in early access in the beginning, because with early access they should focus on very, very basic and core features of the game. They should focus on improving and making the best out of those core features of the game, because if you put multiplayer in the beginning of the early access, then you will have to deal with that problem as well. And you will not be able to focus on the main game itself. And that, in the end, that would be a very bad thing for the game overall. Info. The amount of additional content after the early access will partly depend on player feedback and wishes. So talk to the developers and they'll do their best to listen. Follow up. In the past, Grimlore's general approach has been to work on meaningful add-on chunks if desired by the players. And that continues to be our plan. Okay, personally I don't know what they did in the past because I wasn't there. I didn't even know Grimlore Studios in the past. But we will see. The early access is coming up this winter, we don't know when, but we will give feedback to the developers and we will see what happens. Info. After the early access there will be additional masteries to increase their playability. Follow up. Additional masteries depend entirely on feedback and demand. Okay. Leave a comment below and a thumbs up, all of you who desire something like a Ninja Samurai's mastery in this game. Of course, I don't expect it to come if the game... Oh. Another question is the game truly going to be based only in Greek mythology? Who wants a samurai mastery And also who wants a mastery which will be totally dependent on water and cold damage or water and sharks, maybe have some pets like piranhas or whatever. Octopuses. 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 So this is very good info. This is some clarification about things. Remember again, the info here is the questions that people have in general. The follow-up is the answer, the official answer from the developers. Very good things. Of course, the most important thing is to know when the early access is coming out. It is coming out this winter, but this winter could be from the beginning of December until next March of 2025. Who knows? We don't know. And when the early access is out, hopefully we will be able to play as much as possible and give good feedback to the developers. So guys, this is it for this video. Stay tuned. More Titan Quest content is coming up always on this channel, of course. And if you got, you can leave a reply there. Let me leave a reply there. Supreme information. Let's put, no, we will not. Yes, let's put something like this. Post comment. The first comment. So, this is it. Remember, if you use Discord in general and you haven't joined the official Titan Quest Discord server yet, feel free to do so. You're welcome there. There are many people there that talk all the time about Titan Quest and we have many things going on. You can join us. I'll see you very soon, guys. Have a great one and let's hope for the best outcome for Titan Quest 2.